Hi there, listener. You're about to experience TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games, and there will be plenty of game talk, but also copious amounts of crude, off-color, offensive, and immature speech. So if you are of a rather sensitive humor constitution, we're just letting you know what you're in for with this show. It has games. It has jokes. You know, just games and jokes. Take the games, take the jokes, and have a good time.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to another TADPOG podcast. The show that happens twice a week where two old guys talk about old games.
Just two.
Just two old guys.
Old school.
Oh, yeah.
Blake's preferred flavor.
Yeah, Blake's favorite.
Just you and me.
Hates Nicole, hates Josh.
Hey, I like it when it's just you and me.
Yeah.
I mean, I like having guests on the show, but like this feels intimate.
There's something about it.
There's something in the air.
About it.
It's electric.
What's in the air tonight from?
Phil Collins? Phil Collins song in the air tonight?
Maybe I'm thinking For the Love Tonight then from The Lion King.
Can you feel the love tonight?
Can you feel the love tonight?
Yeah.
So we're like Nala and Simba wrestling around a moonlit lake every time we just record the two of us.
What do you mean we're like that? You're confusing metaphor and
right.
simile again. No.
Well, if it was Mufasa and Scar, that'd be more accurate.
Wait, they had sex too?
About as much as we do.
That sounded like a complaint.
About as much as we do, Dave. All right, I'm your bearded host, Tyler. It's Original Flavor Wednesday.
Yeah, we're doing a thing. We do this show where we talk about video games.
Yeah. We're playing down through Dorkly's top 25 N64 games.
Yeah.
This week, we'll be talking about...
What are we talking about?
Donkey Kong 64.
Okay, all right, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sure.
If you guys could just hear that pregnant pause, just that air between Dave and I just saying Donkey Kong 64.
There should be more pause between Kong and 64 because like
people get
could be
excited.
Like, Donkey Kong Country? Oh, no.
So we've done for the 3 Donkey Kong countries for Super Nintendo.
We have. Yeah.
So now we only have, so once we do Donkey Kong 64, then we'll only have Returns and Tropical Freeze. And then we'd have all the Donkey Kongs.
And the rhythm game.
Oh, Donkey Konga. Yeah, it's true.
Don't forget about that.
There was a guy who had one.
One guy
I know recently on Facebook who had it, and I asked to borrow it for one to do Tadpog on it, and he said sure, and then sold it super cheap. I was like, I just would have bought it then. Okay, all right. So 2 things. I'm your weird host Tyler. Got 2 things. One, yesterday in my attempt to challenge Fish Lips Jay's Fitbit supremacy.
Right, because he's got the 8 mile mom spaghetti achievement.
It sucked. I should have worn better shoes because like it's better that you lift in flat shoes. So I have some of those
not high heels. So I just stopped doing high heels.
Fuck.
Okay.
I have some of those Vibram 5-finger. Basically look like your foot is dipped in plastic shoes that I lift in.
Yeah.
Because they're ugly. They're ugly. I only wear them from the house to the annex to work out. I don't wear them anywhere else. They're ugly, ugly shoes.
Never to buy zebra cakes at the gas station.
I would. I mean, granted, I wear the same thing every day, a month at a time,
right.
And I'll just wear it out to Walmart or wherever. I generally don't care what people think about my appearance, but I'm not going to wear these shoes out anywhere, not even to the gas station.
What are they called?
Vibram 5 fingers.
Vibram 5 fingers? Mm-hmm. They know the toes are on the feet, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Pretty sure that's what it's called. I remember seeing that. I think why do they call them 5 fingers?
I've been wearing these gloves on my feet for like 3 months.
The Vibram part is right because I know they also had like they also had to like do a settlement for false advertising, saying that it was better to run the barefoot running thing that was on for a long time, like minimalist running shoes.
Right.
So there was
That's not good for you.
Not the way they sold it.
I mean, you don't have to answer in case you don't want to be sued.
I believe like false advertising and what they promoted whenever the benefits that they claimed are disputed at best.
Okay. That doesn't sound good.
So they're great to lift in. I like lifting in them. But I decided, I usually run in them because I'll usually, after I work out, and I'll run like 3 miles. And that's good. That's fine. But I should have put on tennis shoes because trying to run 10 sucked real bad. Like
10 miles.
My feet
10
look
miles?
my feet look like they have leprosy now because it was like,
Let's see 'em.
It was rough.
Bust them out.
Just pull my feet.
Bust them out.
So I've got a callus here.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
That's not good. That's not a good situation.
Nope.
And you want to be my Scar. Let's face it.
I'm trying.
Let's face it. I'd be Scar in that situation.
But I ran 10 miles and, I ended up running 11 miles because I wanted to get 50 floors. So I get my lighthouse badge like
Right.
Jay has.
Again, they need to work on these badges.
And I did it. And I also got
Congrats.
one badge that Jay doesn't have, which is 30,000 steps in 1 day badge. So I got that shit. And I was all proud of myself looking at Jay's achievements. He has way more lifetime achievements than I have.
I've got a question for you.
He's walked the course of like New Zealand. So he's got way more badges, but I've got
Is that a badge?
better daily
The
badge.
the
New
Kiwi?
Zealand.
Is
Yep.
it really?
Yep.
Oh, I thought I was making a little funny joke.
And then I was like, well, okay, so I'm catching Jay. That's nice. That's cool. And I was looking through some other badges of friends who are new. I guess like I just now added me. One guy I know, he puts Jay to shame because this guy has the rainbow badge. The rainbow badge is 800 floors in 1 day.
It's not walk 800 gay pride parades.
I mean, maybe if you're going up and down floats all day long. But when I saw that, I was like, fuck, man. That's one of those, like, you can go on Fitbit and check, like, globally how many people have these badges.
Yeah.
Not many people have that. So.
What is the most coveted? What's the most coveted Fitbit badge?
Because there are a lot that only one person has, like, unlocked.
What's the legendary drop?
The one, there's one that's, like, 100,000, 200,000 steps in a day, and one's like 2,000 floors in a day. She's like, that's crazy.
There's one that's throw eggs at Mike Tyson and survive.
Yep. They're lifetime miles to be like the circumference of the earth. It's a big one.
Do you and Fish Lips Jay talk about this outside of the show, or is
Nope.
this just a thing that you talk about on the show?
This is the thing that I talk about. It got him to share the show for the first time I've ever noticed. Because he shared the show being like,
I see.
hey, here, Tyler, talk about how good I am at walking.
This explains why we're bringing him up again.
Yep. And then, but my other point was, because I know what my intro story to be about, walking against Jay again. So I was like, I need to bring it with a story.
I wasn't going to call you out on rehashing an intro story.
So I didn't know about. I was trying to think of a personal intro story of mine. I've got a few that I think are still too much. I'll only tell if like a visitor comes up in person.
Too hot to handle.
Too hot for TV. But I did something occurred to me. I think we briefly mentioned the trials by fire of Reddit.
Right, yeah, that was a long time ago.
Which
we
it's
talked about
like
that.
7 to 8 of the most horrific stories. Like, because Reddit, millions of people across all races, religions, professions, gender, countries, everywhere. So to boil down the stories of this many people down to like a select handful of just sheer awfulness. And because I've referred to many times, like reading all of these stories, getting through all of these stories, and that's your Reddit trial by fire. You've passed through the cleansing, gross fires of the bowels of Reddit and come out on the other side, like the Shawshank Redemption.
All right.
So I think I should read a few of these for my intro.
I was hoping you were going to be like, and that's how I feel about Donkey Kong 64.
Well, see, I've made it through the trials by fire. I couldn't make it through Donkey Kong 64. But I've printed out one of my favorite of the trials by fire that I would like to read to you, listener.
That's two full pages of text. You're going to read it all? That's
Yeah.
going to take like probably 12 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Do you want 12 more minutes to talk about Donkey Kong 64?
I mean, kinda compared to what you're about to read.
You know this horrifically gross story that'll take 12 minutes?
I mean, what do I have to do? What do I have to do to not have you read that on the show?
Tell me you don't want me to read it on the show.
Which one is it?
Then just tell me you don't want me to read it. I won't read it.
No, which one is it?
The Swamps of Dagobah.
Oh man, you can't read the Swamps of Dagobah on the
It's
show.
bad. It's bad.
It's real bad.
It's real bad.
It's real bad.
It's scarring. It's that bad.
It's pretty horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, here's my thing. I'm not worried about the content. Mm-hmm. I'm just worried about the sheer length. Do you think you can micro machines man your way through this?
Yeah,
Because that might be entertaining.
I think I could.
Okay.
I think I could.
Then I'm in.
Okay.
If we come in under 12 minutes, I'm in.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay.
All right, so I'm warning you first, Reddit. I'm not Reddit. I'm warning you first, listener, about this story of Reddit. It is, like, we're not joking. This is gross. If you're eating lunch,
No, it's the worst.
Wait.
It's the worst thing.
if you have a sensitive stomach, it's a medical story. So it is gross, but it's in that gross kind of way. You're like, oh, I gotta share this with somebody else. Kind of gross.
Yeah.
So fast forward, not quite 12 minutes.
12 minutes, 11 minutes, 58 seconds.
So we'll loudly proclaim like that you can continue listening.
Seriously, this is
If I'm
awful.
still reading quickly, pause it and keep going.
Seriously, it's awful.
This is awful.
It's the worst.
This is a factual story from an OR nurse.
It's debatable, right? It's debatable. It's probably true.
I've looked at this person's history,
Yeah.
and I feel like it's real.
Okay. It's one of those things that while I was reading it, had to keep telling myself, this never happened. This isn't real.
So it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. So go ahead.
So yeah, I'm warning you again. This is gross, but I think you should hear it because after you're done, especially not with just with this one, but all of them, you'll feel better for it. It will make your humor constitution that much hardier and steel your soul against the worst things in life.
Or encase your soul in stone.
Oh, you know, or be like staring into the eyes of Great Cthulhu, and it will drive you mad. Whichever.
Yeah. Or just a little mad.
All right. So this is told from the nurse's perspective. The Swamps of Dagobah.
Okay. That's where Yoda lives.
Yep.
In case you didn't know. I was letting you know.
Yeah. I'd read this before I knew that.
I like to think you were searching for it on Google and you're like, why do I keep getting a Muppet?
I was taking call one night and woke up at 2 a.m. for a general surgery call. Pretty vague, but at the time I lived in a town that had a large population of young military guys and avid meth users, so late night emergencies were common. Got to the hospital, where a few more details waited for me. Pararectal abscess, for the uninitiated, means that somewhere in the immediate vicinity of the asshole there was a pocket of pus that needed draining. Needless to say, our entire crew was less than thrilled. I went to the emergency room to transport the patient, and the only thing the ER nurse would say as she handed me the chart was, "Have fun with this one." Amongst healthcare professionals, vague statements like this are a bad sign. My patient was a 314 Native American woman who barely fit in the stretcher I was transporting her on.
314 pound. Mm-hmm. Okay.
She was rolling frantically from side to side, moaning in pain, pulling out her clothes and muttering Hail Marys. I could barely get her name out after a few minutes of questioning. So after I confirmed her identity and what we were working with, I figured it was best to just let the anesthesiologist know so we can knock her out and get this circus started. She continued the theatrics the entire 10-minute ride to the OR.
Maybe she was possessed.
Hopefully. Nearly falling off the surgical table as we were trying to get her under anesthetic. We see patients like this a lot, though. Chronic drug users who don't handle pain well, but who have used so many drugs that even increased levels of pain medication simply don't touch their high tolerance levels. It should be noted, tonight's surgical team was not exactly wet behind the ears. I've been working in healthcare for several years already, most psych and medical settings. I've watched an 88-year-old man tear a 1-inch catheter balloon out of his penis while screaming, "You'll never make me talk."
Nope.
I've been attacked by HIV-positive neo-Nazi.
Nope.
I've seen some shit. The other nurse that had been in the ER was a trauma specialist for over 10 years. The anesthesiologist had done his residency at a level 1 trauma center, or as we called them, knife and gun clubs. The surgeon was ex-Army and averaged about 8 words and 2 facial expressions a week. None of us expected what was about to happen next. We got the lady off to sleep, put her in the stirrups, and I began washing off the rectal area. It was red and inflamed, and a little bit of pus was already seeping through. It was all pretty standard. Her chart noted that she'd been injecting IV drugs through her perineum. So
That's the taint.
Yep. So this was obvious an infection from dirty needles or bad drugs. But overall, it didn't seem to warrant her repeated cries of, "Oh, Jesus, kill me now."
Why can I want to interrupt for just a moment. Why put the needle in why do it there? To hide it? That's why you do it?
I would assume so, yeah. Just you're not going to notice that.
There's got to be other
all.
places that are
Between
also
your toes.
not noticeable.
Yeah.
Maybe
don't
just
know.
anywhere on your body that's not your arms, hands, neck, or face. Like, I don't show, like, that's at work, that's what everyone sees. They don't know what anything else looks like.
I know you have that one pair of pants that has a hole cut out for your taint to come through. So yeah, you know what to do that.
Well, of course, but I don't wear it to work.
Avid intravenous drug users of the TADPOG Nation, let us know why you didn't inject drugs into your taint.
Call in 270-883-2555. Let us know.
Man, this is going to be bad for those people who listen to times and half speed, the way I'm trying to roll through this.
No, I love it. It's going to force them. It's going to force them to play at normal speed.
The surgeon steps up with the scalpel, sinks just the tip in, and at that exact moment, the patient had a muscle twitch in her diaphragm, and just like that, all hell broke loose. Unbeknownst to us, the infection had tunneled nearly a foot into her abdomen, creating a vast cavern full of pus, rotten tissue, and fecal matter that had seeped outside of her colon.
No, it's not a real thing.
This godforsaken mixture came rocketing out of that little incision that we were creating. And like the funeral scene from Jane Austen's Mafia. We were all in waterproof gloves, waterproof gowns, face masks, gloves, hats, the works. All of which were about as helpful as rain boots against a fire hose. The bed was in the middle of the room, an easy 7 feet from the nearest wall. By the time this was done, I was finding bits of rotted flesh pasted against the back wall. As the surgeon continued his advance with his blade, the torrent just continued. The patient kept seizing against the ventilator, not uncommon in surgery. But with every muscle contraction, she shot more of this brackish, grayish, brown fluid out onto the floor. Within minutes, it was seeping through the other nurse's shoes. I was nearly 12 feet away, jaw dropped open within my surgical mask. Watching the second nurse dry heaving and the surgeon standing on his tiptoes to keep the stuff from soaking into his socks any further, the smell hit them first. Oh God, I just threw up in my mask. The other nurse was out. She tore off her mask and sprinted out of the room, shoulders heaving. Then it hit me, mouth still wide open, not able to believe the volume of the fluid this woman's body contained. It was like a great big bite of despair and apathy that permeated this woman's life. I couldn't fucking breathe. My lungs simply refused to pull in any more of this stuff. The anesthesiologist went down next. An ex-NCAA D1 tailback, his 6'2" frame shaking as he threw open the door in the OR in an attempt to get more air in, letting me glimpse the second nurse still throwing up in the sinks outside the door. Another geyser of pus splashed across the front of the surgeon. The YouTube clip, David at the dentist, keeps playing in my head. Is this real life?
I know you haven't played World of Warcraft, Tyler, but this also it sounds like you could be describing a raid boss. I've been sitting here listening, being like, all right, it's like he's describing how we get through this fight. All right, we've lost 3 already, but maybe we can pull through.
In all operating rooms, everywhere in the world, regardless of socialized or privatized, secular or religious, big or small, there is one thing that is the same. Somewhere there is a small bottle of peppermint concentrate. Everyone in the department knows where this is. Everyone knows what this is for, and everyone prays to the gods they never have to use it. In times like this, we rub it on the inside of our mask to keep smells at bay long enough to finish the procedure and shower off. I sprinted to our central supply, ripping open the drawer to find the vial of ambrosia, and was greeted by an empty fucking box. The box had been emptied and not replaced. Somewhere there was a godless bastard who used the last of the peppermint oil and not replaced a single fucking drop of this. To this day, if I figure out who it was, I'll kill them with my bare hands, but not before cramming their head up the colon of every last meth user I can find, just so we're even. I darted back into the room and the next best thing I could find, a vial of mastitol, an adhesive rub we use sometimes on bandaging. It's not as good as peppermint, but considering 1/3 of the floor was now thoroughly covered in what could be mistaken for a combination of bovine afterbirth and maple syrup, we were out of options. I started rubbing as much of the mastitol as I could on the inside of my mask, just glad to be smelling anything except that slimy demon spawn we just cut out of this woman. The anesthesiologist grabbed the vial next, dousing the front of her mask in it so he could stand next to the machines long enough to make sure she didn't die on the table. It wasn't until later that we realized the mastitol can give you a mild high from huffing it like this, but in retrospect, that's probably what got us through. By the time the smell had permeated out of the OR suite and down the 40-foot hallway to the desk where the other nurses sat, eyes bloodshot and watery, clenching their stomachs desperately, our suite looked like the underground river of ooze from Ghostbusters 2, except dirty. Oh, so dirty. I stepped back from the OR suite, not wanting to leave the surgeon by himself in case he genuinely needed help. It was one of these overly artistic representation of the zombie apocalypse that you see on fan forums. Here's this one guy in blue surgical garb, standing nearly ankle deep in lumps of dead tissue, fecal matter, and several liters of syrupy infection. He was performing surgery in the Swamps of Dagobah, except the swamps had just come out of this woman's ass and there was no Yoda. He and I didn't say a word for the next 10 minutes as he scraped the inside of the abscess until he had all the dead tissue out. And in front of his gown was a gruesome mixture of brown and red. His eyes squinted against the stinging vapors originated directly in front of him. I finished my required paperwork as quickly as I could, helped him stuff the recently vacated opening full of gauze, taped this woman's buttocks closed to hold the dressing together as long as possible, woke her up, and shipped her to recovery. Until then, I'd heard of alcohol showers. Turns out 70% isopropyl alcohol is the only thing that can even touch a scent like this once it's soaked into your skin. It takes about 4 or 5 bottles to get really clean, but it's worth it. It's probably the only scenario I could endorse drinking a little bit of it too. After we left the locker room, the surgeon and I looked at each other, and he said the only negative sentence I've ever heard him utter in 2.5 years of working together. That was bad. The next morning, our entire department, a fairly large floor of the hospital, still smelled. The housekeepers told us it took them nearly an hour to suction up all the fluid and debris left behind. The R suite itself was closed off and quarantined for 2 more days just to let the smell finally clear out. I laugh now when I hear recruits to healthcare talk about the worst thing they've ever seen. You ain't seen shit, kid. TLDR, don't shoot IV drugs into your taint.
So that's been a comedic reading of R.L. Stein's latest book, The Swamps of Dagobah. Thank you, Tyler. Okay, here's the thing.
Pauses aside and us talking, that probably took about 8 minutes.
Yeah, I was keeping my eye on the clock. I want to know how much she weighed after that. We get a very specific weight going in,
314.
and then we don't get a weight afterwards.
That's true. That's true. I would have liked the other. For it to be like, ooh, and like stuff like that isn't light. So you think of like 10 pounds of like a foot of just like.
That cannot. What, they were operating in like a broom closet? Like, there's no way.
They said they were in a huge room.
Ankle deep.
12 feet.
But in a 12 by 12 room?
I'm assuming it's not like water and fills its container. So maybe it just comes out and just kind of,
like
slowly
piles
pulled.
up?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I could see that.
Yeah.
Then. It's like the Triceratops poop in Jurassic Park. Kind of like that?
Yep.
All right. Okay.
Only with maple syrup.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. That's one down.
Oh, you would like to do all of them?
Eventually.
I see you have more things printed out.
I do. This is what I printed out here is the DK rap.
Okay.
Almost as bad as the Swamps of Dagobah.
We might differ in opinion. Probably worse than the Swamps of Dagobah. What's up, Internet? Hi, I'm here. I usually do an intro. I am Dave. I'm your bespectacled host. And don't worry, everything that you just heard is fiction, not a real thing. Completely just... Look, no offense to any doctors out there, but I've known some doctors. They don't write that well. That was some real theater of the mind shit. There's no possible way that I can top what I told last week. Of me finding myself on the Come On Clothes subreddit, which I do want to thank all the listeners for going to the show notes because we got a lot more visits to the show notes than we normally do. So
yeah.
So thanks for checking me out behind that woman with the little stuff on her dress. So I decided to not even try this week. I wasn't even going to try. Actually, that's a lie. I was trying to come up with something mildly entertaining, and I couldn't, but I got saved. I honestly thought it might be funny if I went by Kroger or Walmart and picked up like 5 bags of Cheetos and showed up with them. I'm kind of glad I didn't because I'm not even sure I'm going to eat dinner now after hearing that story for the second time in my life. But instead, something came in the mail for us addressed to TADPOG Studios. I don't know 100% who it's from. It was shipped from someone named Kate, which means it cannot be a listener because no one named Kate listens to this show. If your name is Kate and you listen to the show, send us a tweet. We're at TADPOG_podcast.
I know pinball archmage Chris Edler has some snacks for us en route. So
excellent. I like this. I like this saves us from like reading awful stories for interest. It's like we're holding the listener ransom to send us things. It says it was shipped from Kate through eBay though. I have a sinking suspicion that this might be from Massacre, who sent an email asking for our address.
Okay.
So I wanted to Here, let me do it to the mic. Get some of that
Yeah.
Foley. See, the beauty of doing this is it could either go really well or really poorly. But so far, it's always gone well, I feel like. All right. Here's what we got. Mick and Mac as the global gladiators for the Sega Genesis. Excellent. Global Gladiators has all the right qualities, great graphics, great sounds, and a nice environmental cleanup theme. Perfect play control and animations rounded out. It's 8 megs of pure adrenaline. Hilarious gameplay highlights the cart from start to finish. That was a review from Megaplay on the back of the box. It looks like the back of the box is framed in the Swamps of Dagobah. That's timely.
So I wonder if this is a good game or a bad game.
It looks like from the cover, it looks like the sequel to MC Kids.
Huh. Yeah, you're right. All right. It is Mick and Mac. All right. All right. Well,
I didn't open it. Is there a game in there?
There is.
It would have been great if if underwear fell out of there.
Thank you, Kate. Awesome. So now we know.
Yeah.
For a soon. So they bought it and sent us in.
Right. It can't be the next one.
Can't be the next one. But very soon we will do this for Other Shit Monday then.
All right. It's settled. If anyone wants to mail us shit, I love it. I love that. Mm-hmm. You can mail us shit. We should probably get a P.O. box, maybe.
Yep.
I know we've talked about it in the past, and like the excuse was, I don't have any money to do that because that costs money. That's not like a free service like I thought it was because I'm 8 years old, apparently. You actually have to pay the post office for a P.O. box. Now we got that Patreon Skrilla.
So we can, yeah.
We can do stuff like that now. We can be legitimate. I don't have to give my home address out to people anymore.
I've done that too, but just people who ask, not just the broad me forgetting to censor your address out of an episode.
You asked me. You asked me after the fact. You told me. You're like, I forgot. I was like, it's fine. I'm sure no one's going to show up to my house.
It's only been good. We've only gotten stuff. So
yeah, it's been great. I'm not like clearly. Not yet. Almost. So close. I'm not John Lennon level of famous to where someone will drive to Paducah, Kentucky and shoot me in my driveway.
So if somebody wants to impress Jodie Foster and come kill you.
All right, now seriously, go back and let's edit out my address for that one episode, which may or may not be Evo.
Maybe. Oh, man. Donkey Kong 64?
You want to do it? You want to talk about
Let's talk about it.
All right. I guess I should probably look it up on a certain website.
Yep. Dave, do you hear that?
Like a slosh. It sounds like a sloshing train.
It's a slicing, like
Ugh.
slurp.
Labored slurping. Yeah, I do hear that gross sound. I don't think we're gonna get the corporate sponsorships we're going for. I don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't know. I think Swamps of Dagobah is pretty nature box friendly.
Just before this recording, you were talking about shows that get like Comic-Con promotions and stuff like that. That ain't gonna happen for us. Let's just that ain't gonna happen. Just forget about that. We gotta
Adult Con maybe. We're open to it.
Is that a thing, Adult Con?
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, if anyone out there has got Adult Con hookups, mention us.
Well, that's some porn stars on the show. Porn stars like video games. So wait for that stripper, though.
At least they pretend
Thanks
to.
for trying, Micah. Yeah.
I do hear that. I do hear that slurping, slopping, just awful, awful, awful sound, which, of course, ushers in a segment that we like to call Dave Reads from Wikipedia. Okay, guys. Donkey Kong 64, or as it's known in Japan, Donkey Kongu Rokujuyan, is a 1999 platforming video game developed by Rare and published by Nintendo as a first-party title for the Nintendo 64 console. Initially released in 1999, it also came out in Europe, in Japan, same year. No one cares about months. In TADPOG Nation, months don't exist. The game is a follow-up to the Donkey Kong Country trilogy on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, with many levels containing elements from those games, such as mine carts and bonus stages. Tyler, it was originally planned to be titled Donkey Kong Country 64. That's all it says about that. We don't find out why it wasn't.
I could tell you why it wasn't.
Because they didn't want to sully the good name of Donkey Kong Country?
Yeah, it's not a Donkey Kong Country game.
Yeah, it's more Donkey Kong City.
It's Donkey Kong Banjo-Kazooie.
Donkey Kong 64 follows the adventures of Donkey Kong, imagine that, and 4 of his simian relatives as they try to win back. What do you think? What do you think they're trying to win back?
Oh, man. It's got to be what they love. The only purpose in life a monkey has.
Right.
Bananas. Bananas.
Their hoard of bananas. The banana hoard. You'd think they'd take better precautions to safe.
You would also think the bananas would all be rotten by now, because I know I can have bananas for more than like 3 days in my house. So...
That's a good question. That's a really good question. Being as serious as they are, I feel like if you're serious enough to have a banana hoard, you may also be serious enough to have developed a technique to preserve those bananas indefinitely.
Like the infomercials for those green bags to put all your produce in. They just have like massive, massive bags of those. Yeah, those breathable bags.
All right, here's what you do. We need you to put all your bananas in this bag. You're going to get your vacuum cleaner, hook it up to the banana bag, suck all the air out. Problem solved. Okay, so they're back. They got to get their bananas and banish King K. Rool. King K. Rool's back. Donkey Kong's got a real bad Batman syndrome. Just won't kill King K. Rool.
Oh, that's why, like, I guess that still kills me. That, and then, like, Mega Man, like, get a new fucking villain. Seriously, branch out a little bit.
So, there's more. Here's an important thing. I just want to throw this out here because I can't imagine this is going to come up in our conversation. Donkey Kong 64 was one of only 3 Nintendo 64 games that required the expansion pack. The other 2 being Majora's Mask and Perfect Dark. That's what gives the extra RAM. It needed it. It needed it. Donkey Kong 64 needed it to
It's true.
to run.
It is one of the biggest games on the N64.
Is it?
It is also like it is one of the longest games, and like they packed that cartridge out with content.
How much of the space do you think was for the Donkey Kong rap?
It's a long rap and it's voice
It's
acted.
a really long rap, and it's like doesn't sound compressed at all either.
Like this is the star of this game.
I know.
So like, all right, the total size of the cartridge, ready for it?
I'm ready.
It's 35 megs.
That's a lot of megs.
Yep. I've only got one, and that's
I mean, that's 34 megs than you've got. It's 35 more than I've got.
But I have the DK wrap right here. I had to decrease it to 8 size font to get it to fit onto one page.
You didn't want to freak me out with 2 pages. That's smart.
You want me to do the Donkey Kong rap?
Yes, I would love for you to do the Donkey Kong
Or
rap.
do you want to do the Donkey Kong rap? So I read Swamps of Dagobah.
It's up to you. It's up to you. You went to the prepper printing it, so you get to decide.
I don't even know if I can do it because, like, I know how it goes in my head, but trying to read it, I don't know how this flows. A lot of it's just so bad.
Oh, it doesn't. No, don't worry about it. It doesn't flow at all. We can switch off if you want.
Or I can read it just incredibly straight, like B. Arthur reading Pamela Anderson's autobiography.
Yeah, I like that. Let's do that. Read it as B. Arthur.
So they're finally here, performing for you. If you know the words, you can join in too. Put your hands together if you want to clap as we take you through this monkey rap. DK, Donkey Kong.
Yeah. Is he the leader of the crew?
I'm going to have to do this faster. It's going to take 30 minutes.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. You're good. You're good. Like you said, everyone listens to this at like double speed. It's fine. This is going to sound like you normally.
He's the leader of the bunch. You know him well. He's finally back
Yeah.
to kick some tail. His coconut gun can fire in spurts.
That sounded sensual. I like that sexy vent you put on that. It's good.
If he shoots ya, it's gonna hurt. He's bigger, faster, and stronger too. He's the first member of the DK crew. Huh. DK,
Yeah.
Donkey Kong.
Right.
DK, Donkey Kong is here
Okay, right. He's here.
And then I think this is but Tiny Kong is her name. They don't say any of the other Kong's names besides Donkey Kong.
Right, and this of course is one of my biggest criticisms about the DK rap. Do you mind? Can I interject?
Please.
Okay, so here's the deal with the DK rap. They take the time. This is like a 3-minute. This is like a 3-minute production. Like you turn the game on, and this happens to you, and I can see it maybe being funny if you don't expect it, or I can see that it was intended to be funny. But it's also a tool that shows the gamer, the person playing the game, all the different Kongs. Here's all the different Kongs, and here are the different things that they can do. But in the full fucking 3 minutes of the song, they don't name any of them. They don't name. They're like, here's some really important characters. Make up your own names, I guess.
You won't see them again, except Diddy. So other than that, because you think they have a ton of Kongs to choose from. Only one they reuse Donkey and Diddy. The others are brand fucking new.
Yeah, except they essentially have Dixie Kong in the game. It's just she's Tiny Kong.
She's Tiny
now.
Kong, yeah. So this Kong's got style. So listen up, dudes. She can shrink in size to suit her mood. She's quick and nimble when she needs to be. She can float through the air and climb up trees.
She can float through the air just like a bee. It would have been great if they just rhymed all the same words together.
If you choose her, you'll not choose wrong. With a skip and a hop, she's one cool Kong.
Nice.
Huh. DK, Donkey Kong.
In case you forgot.
Then another one comes out. I think this is the orangutan.
Lanky Kong.
He has no style. He has no grace.
Yeah.
This Kong has a funny face.
You're right.
He can handstand when he needs to and stretch his arms out just for you. Don't know how that's supposed to flow with and he can stretch his arms out. Okay, just for you.
Yep. You nailed it.
Inflate himself just like a balloon.
Yes.
This crazy Kong just digs this tune. Huh. DK, Donkey Kong. DK, Donkey Kong is here.
I'm assuming that Biz Marquee is he's the Lanky Kong of the group. If we're strictly speaking rappers, because this is a rap.
Oh, okay. When you said Biz Marquee, I thought Bismarck, the Final Fantasy
the whale. He's the whale of the group. He's the space whale. Let's climb inside his belly and fly to the moon.
So now Diddy Kong. He's back again and about time too. And this time he's in the mood. He wasn't before. Not in the mood. Now he is. He can fly real high with his jetpack on. With his pistols out, he's one tough Kong. So now we're going to give Diddy just technology. That's what we're going to do. He'll make you smile while he plays his tune. But Kremlins beware, he's after you. Huh. DK Donkey Kong. Huh. Mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then now it is Chunky Kong.
Right.
Finally, he's here for you, the last member of the DK crew. This Kong's so strong, it isn't funny. Can make a Kremlin cry out for mommy. Because I guess they tried to rhyme funny.
I know. It fails.
With mummy.
Yeah, it's not great. It's all right, continue, please. Sorry.
Can pick up a boulder with relative ease. Makes crushing rocks seem such a breeze. He may move slow, he can't jump high, but this Kong's one hell of a guy. Huh. Surprised they got, they did get hell passed. That's something.
That's interesting, yeah.
Come on, Cranky, take it to the fridge.
Right.
Okay. All right, this part really makes no fucking sense.
Wait, the take it to the fridge part?
Take it to the fridge.
It's a pun. I mean, it's not not a great one.
Well, what comes after this? Walnuts,
right.
Peanuts, pineapple smells.
Yeah.
Pineapple smells. Oranges.
That's my
melons.
My Reddit username. Pineapple smells.
Grapes, melons, oranges, and coconut shells. Oh yeah. Repeat. That's DK rap.
That was well done, Tyler. I enjoyed that. Thank you. That is okay. I didn't finish this game.
It's super long.
I didn't finish it. I did play. This is how I feel about every Rare game for the Nintendo 64 that I've played. Perfect Dark being the exception. I put in a lot of time to this game and did not get very far in this game, like to a frustrating degree. You know that I'm not a guide guy. I don't like to use guides. I'd like to be able to get through a game sans guide. I will use them if I have to, and I did have to use them in this game just to find.
I can't think of the last time you were forced to use a guide on a game.
I could not find.
Usually
things
quit
in the
first
game.
before you'll use a guide.
Yeah, and I think that actually might be a point in Donkey Kong 64's corner as opposed to out of it, because I desperately wanted to get to the second world, because I finished the first world, Jungle Japes, and was like, okay, that was, I mean, I could play more of this. I can play more of it. And I couldn't find the entrance to the second area. I just couldn't find it. After wandering around for 30 minutes on this, I was like, all right, I think I'm gonna look this up. Which unfortunately I lost steam after that. And here's the really sad part is, dude, it probably took me from like turning the game on to getting through Jungle Japes, which is the first stage, like I said. It probably took me, I don't know, 3.5 hours. And then watching, like, also, I couldn't just type in to Google, where is the entrance to Area 2 of Donkey Kong 64? Amazingly, that did not bring up a lot of results. So I was like, I know what I'll do. I'll go to GameFAQs. And GameFAQs this is like the true telltale sign that this game is the mother of all collectathons, is that the GameFAQs guide was just a list of the things in the game. It was just a huge list of the things, all the big bananas, the little bananas, the banana coins, the crowns, the medallions, the blueprints. That's all. It was just a big list of where all the things were.
The wiki for this game was the exact same thing, and a breakdown per character, because you have to collect them all per character in the game. Like for each character you play, they have to collect these items like again, or they'll have like some sort of utility to get them to areas another character can't access to collect more shit. Ugh.
So that was like, like a guide on GameFAQs couldn't tell me how to get to Area 2.
Yeah.
So like I went to YouTube and found a video which shows me how to get to Area 2. It's super simple. I'm a dummy, but it's still like watching that video. It took the guy like maybe 45 minutes to get like as far as it took me 3.5 hours to do.
Yeah.
And that's like a really, really disheartening feeling.
Well, the guy probably, if he's gonna make a YouTube video, he knows what he's doing. He's not sitting under this game for the first time. But this game was in production. I mean, okay, this is Rare's bread and butter. This 3D exploring platformer. They've already knocked. I mean, this was later in the N64's lifespan. They've knocked so many of these titles out already, and they reuse a lot of shit from the other games. Like, Diddy has the same, like, jump that, like,
the flip.
Banjo. Yeah, it's all the...
It's the same moveset.
It's the same shit.
Yeah, and instead of using Kazooie to fire, it is coconuts, right?
I think, no, Diddy fires peanuts.
Okay, but Donkey Kong fires coconuts from his coconut shotgun.
Yeah.
Doesn't Kazooie, doesn't he fire?
So eggs.
Eggs. Oh, that makes sense.
Yep.
Right, we had the whole thing with the guy who, on Reddit, who liked the eggs. I forgot.
So it's, I mean...
But it's the same.
It took 2.5 years, and they already had all of this shit down. It's so similar. Rare, because you talked about this to me earlier, Dave, like, Rare just has like the same formula. Yeah. You got the same shit that they do.
And I specifically said I want to talk about it on the show.
Yep.
So Rare is like every Nintendo 64 game they've done is they follow this formula where it's like they have this cinematic opening where they allude to a very big story. The opening like the similarities between the opening of Conker's Bad Fur Day and Donkey Kong 64 to me are very striking, because you've got the Bagheera and Conker's Bad Fur Day who's sitting on the throne drumming his fingers on his throne And then the same exact thing is happening in this game. King K. Rool, who's speaking like Darth Vader and Dr. Claw had a fucked up alligator baby. He's doing the same exact thing. And okay, so you get to this long cinematic, which I enjoyed. I mean, the cinematics I think are great.
The game looks good.
Yeah, the game the game looks amazing.
Yeah.
And you get through all of it, and then they just kind of like, okay, you got through that. Now here's your little tutorial section. And Banjo Kazooie, it's you go around your little village, and the mole tells you how to do everything. In this game, it's Donkey Kong, so you get in barrels, and then the barrels teach you how to do things. Okay, that's done. Now what do we do? All right, well, we drop you off to the central hub. Same thing, and all the fucking 3D platforms that Rare's done. Drop you off in the central hub. Great, now what do I do? Find your way to Area 1. All right, now what do I do? Find your way to Area 2. Collect all the things, of course. Turn in the things to access the next area, and then find the area.
Granted, there are things in Donkey Kong to collect anyway. We'd bitched about that in Donkey Kong Country 3. Yeah. There was too much shit to collect. And here, they only amp it up further. Like, it's exponential.
It's not optional. It's not optional in this game.
That's true. All that other shit, you could finish the game without collecting letters, banana coins, DK coins.
Oh, that's extra shit in the SNES games. It just gives you extra lives.
Yeah.
Not in Donkey Kong 64. In Donkey Kong 64, those things you collect are gateways to the next areas. There's literally a character that asks you to give him bananas to let you through. His name's like Blocky or something like that. Like they did
something creative.
Yes, they did not try very hard.
Because this is their bread and butter. This kind of game. So they had the bones already just laid out for them.
Right.
So for 2.5 years, they did do an amazing job polishing and putting in tons of content because it is an extraordinarily long game. I mean, kids must love collecting stuff, so we'll add in way more collectibles than ever before and way more to explore and mini games. So many mini games that you have to do to get more bananas. And I mean, they put a lot because Donkey Kong, I feel like, is kind of Rare's baby because I'd never heard of Rare until Donkey Kong Country. And Donkey Kong Country made me think, wow, these Rare guys, awesome.
Yeah.
But I can see why they didn't call it Donkey Kong Country because, all right, like Mario 64, Kirby, a lot of the games that have the 64 3D interpretation still have a lot of their base gameplay. You know, it comes from somewhere. Mario 64, like you still have so many Mario elements, and it easily transitions into like 3D.
I haven't played it, so I can't speak to that.
Okay.
But soon I will be able to.
Yeah. But Donkey Kong 64, it in no way feels like the game, any of its predecessors. I don't get the feeling, other than being able to do it like cartwheels, but like jumping and collecting in this environment and using all these weapons. It feels like they just gave Donkey Kong Country a Banjo-Kazooie treatment, and this is what they got.
Yeah.
And
it does feel like Banjo-Kazooie Country. I mean,
yeah.
I do think they nailed the way Donkey Kong looks and the way that Diddy Kong looks in this game. Like, I think they look great.
Yeah.
And I think the
amount of polish is great. The music, solid.
I think the controls are wonderful. Like, honestly, what was compelling me to continue to play is I really liked Diddy Kong. I liked playing as Diddy Kong, and I liked how he felt. I liked how he moved. The controls were awesome. He was quick, and this is going to sound absolutely crazy, but the tree climbing mechanic in this game was really fun. Mm-hmm. It was really fun, and it like worked seamlessly too, which was amazing. I loved that I could jump from a cliff and like kind of Velcro onto a tree, and then just effortlessly from that point just scramble up the tree.
So it was very Assassin's Creed in its fluidity. So it wasn't like frustrated trying to get this right box to latch on, trying to, you're right.
The vine swinging I thought was even fun. I mean, there were a lot of really fun elements to this game, but I agree with you. It didn't feel like a Donkey Kong Country game.
And because doing research for more of this game's background, I did come across one. I thought it was kind of a poignant YouTube comment.
Those are rare.
Yeah, I know. because I'm scrolling through and I'll just what do people think about this game? And it still has the fanboys of one of the best fucking games ever made, blah, blah, blah. One comment stood out to me saying, platformers are the first-person shooters of the 90s. And I thought about that, and it was just like, yeah, because as much as we're like just bogged down with them now, like 20 years from now, if somebody want to do a list of the best games of our era, they're going to have as many first-person shooters as we are these platformers. And if you don't love first-person shooters, you're going to think this era of
that
gaming
we're in right now
blows. Right. Just like we don't like these 3D platformers, so we feel like the N64 like is just shitting the bed so far. Because like if you don't like whatever the staple of like that decade is,
Yeah.
you're just shit out of luck.
Yeah. No, that's a great observation. And I'm actually really glad that you brought up first-person shooters, because that is another thing in this game that like completely does not feel like Donkey Kong Country, and that is that they have guns in the game. I think that is so weird, and I think it's weird that like that permeated into Super Smash Brothers, because like Diddy Kong's got his peanut poppers.
Yeah, you're right.
And jetpack, like the jetpack, okay, I can kind of like. I don't love it, but
you want an aerial dimension in a 3D platform,
right?
Okay,
I can get on board with it, but it's like I don't think they need guns in this game, and that's not from like a bleeding heart standpoint. That's just like I don't think we need to give these monkeys guns, guys. I don't think it fits with Donkey Kong Country at all.
And okay, further look at it, like if this was such a good idea, where are the games? The sequels like this, there are none. There's no 64-2. There's no
Well, it gets confusing.
further ventures into like the 3D realm.
Donkey Kong 128.
They wait after Donkey Kong 64. You don't see Donkey Kong again for like 2 generations. You don't see him again until the 3DS, Donkey Kong Country Returns, and then again for Tropical Freeze. And they're not going back to the 64 style of doing things. They go back the 2D of the country days.
Yeah.
So like that's telling about like what is the strong point. I feel like if Rare had, instead of taking their playbook and doing Banjo-Kazooie, if they had taken a page from Kirby 64 and made this 2.5D, it would have been great.
I think it could have been excellent.
It could have still been good today.
I need that structure in a platformer. I need the structure that Kirby 64 has, where it's very much, here's a level. This is a level. There's a start to it and there's a finish to it. That's what it might just be because I've got such a history with like NES platformers where it's not so open. If it's an open world environment like Donkey Kong 64 is, everything has to be interesting, and there has to be a lot of things to distract me, a la Grand Theft Auto.
Or Super Mario 3D World.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's this same premise,
right?
But each world is far more contained, and there's way more shit to do in it.
Right.
So it works.
And it's shit to do. It's not shit to collect. And that's what I get so frustrated about playing these games, specifically Donkey Kong Donkey Kong 64, because there's so much to collect.
It basically
it's
as
frustrating.
Yeah, it's a chore simulator.
Yeah,
is what it is.
Find the things. And like I start getting to the point where it's like this is not like moving around and like killing the enemies and like climbing trees and swinging from vines. Like these are all really fun things. But man, I'm doing it to the end of not something that's fun. I'm stressing out because it's like, oh God, I need another banana. I got to find another banana. And now I'm just doing laps around the stage trying to find one more banana.
Yeah, it's man. Part of me is like after hearing so much good about Rare, and then Rare being touted for doing no wrong for so long, like after playing other N64 games, it's just like, all right, I guess Microsoft got a deal.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't know how they would have adapted, but.
I think it's weird that they kind of took a step back. I felt like they took a step backwards as far as camera goes. I don't know if you had this problem, but I had the entire time I played, I felt like I was fighting the camera. And I didn't feel that way so much. Like, it was the worst for me out of the rare platformers that we've played. I mean, I kind of felt like I was fighting it in Banjo-Kazooie and also Banjo-Tooie, but in this game in particular, Donkey Kong 64, I felt like I was constantly going into first-person view.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It might be because I was playing it on the Wii U. I was playing the Virtual Console on the tablet, and maybe it's because it doesn't have the octagonal shape to keep my joystick in position. It's more freeform, like a regular analog stick.
I had problems with it too.
You did?
So it's just like, because whenever I would take on something relatively isometric, so like I'm Diddy Kong and I'm trying to walk across something.
Yeah.
I'm holding my controller. I'm looking at my controller. I'll look up at the TV. Okay, and I'll slowly make sure my thumb is not moving, and I'll go to push forward, and it's not moving left or right in any way. And then I just start seeing Diddy slowly start creeping to the right until I fall off. And it's just like,
Are you talking
there are some points with like the camera and the movement, and like it becomes really frustrating. Fine, large movements, fine, vine swinging, all that, but like it feels like some of like the little minutia stuff that you have to be really careful of. Sometimes, like, I don't know if it was the N64 controller. It was like some kind of an issue that like the camera, maybe the camera's just off on like a part I can't really see very well, and I'm not seeing it curve just right or move. But some things were no.
Some of the vines were weird too, because I liked the mechanic and that was fun. That actually, I mean, that was one of the fun parts. But sometimes, like trying to like gauge where a vine actually was, like jumping onto the initial vine of like a set of 4 would be tough, because like I had to look for the shadow of the vine. Like there's no way I could look directly at the vine and jump and grab it. I had to like look below the vine and aim for the shadow, because otherwise I would just totally misgauge and like not jump far enough, or like way overshoot the vine and like fly off a cliff.
Yeah. How into the mini games did you get?
I guess not very, because I didn't. I mean, are you talking about like the minecart stuff? Or?
All the bonus barrels.
I did.
And the mine carts are also like they're considered the mini games, which makes me sad that what I think is kind of a hallmark of Donkey Kong, the minecart levels, are relegated to just little jaunts of collectathons, just to like have Diddy lean out of a cart to try and grab whatever banana token. I
really liked the minecart. I did. I thought the minecart was like way much more fun than the SNES version. Because I always felt like in Donkey Kong Country, the minecart levels were always like, oh, a minecart level. It was almost like, I guess I'm done playing. I guess because I'm not gonna be able to get past this minecart level. This is ridiculous. But the minecart level in Donkey Kong 64, I thought was immensely entertaining. It looked good. It felt fast. Like it really felt like I was going fast. It's a
rare thing in the N64.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of things were happening. A lot of interesting things were happening. Like giant Kremlings were opening their mouths and the cart's going into them. Like all this crazy stuff is going. You can flip switches to change the route of the cart. All these things I thought was really, 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 really fun. I wish there was more of that in the game, because it was more fun to me than collecting bananas.
See, and there's so little of it in the game, and some of the mini games are kind of maddening. Like there's one where like Donkey Kong will be in the middle of something, he'll have to jump on like the little Kremlings like heads, like a whack-a-mole type situation. And
the old Super Mario RPG mini game.
Yeah. And there's a lot of stuff like that they're long and get frustrating. And if you want, you have to collect all the funky bananas. You have to do them. A lot of this. I feel like it's really close to being good in a lot of ways, but then like the stuff they tried to shoehorn in, or I guess what they tried to take a lot of good stuff and build onto, the foundation is not very strong.
Yeah.
They took all this good stuff and just piled it onto a house that collapsed.
The house that Banjo built.
Yep.
Don't build your house on Banjo. Build it on the rock.
There's a multiplayer mode.
Yeah, I wish I could have done some of that with you. I didn't try it.
Yeah. I watched a lot of it, and It looked okay, but it's kind of weird to basically just do cartwheels into each other and try to use their weapons. And I hear you can unlock.
What are you trying to kill each other?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was joking.
You're straight up trying to kill each other.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool.
So it looks fun, but there are only 3 maps, so it's very limited.
Maybe I should have done that so I could have at least tried some of the other Kongs because from what I played, it was pretty much only Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong. Like I didn't get to try Tiny. I didn't get to try Lanky or who's the big one?
Chubby.
Is it Chubby?
Chucky?
Chunky? Chunky? That's the other thing. That's like Donkey Kong's thing. You can't take Donkey Kong's thing
Is that
away.
he's heavy, yeah.
You can't. Donkey Kong's the strong one. He's the one who like slaps his hands on the ground and shit pops up out of it.
So they
'cause
try to
he's so
make him
strong.
the Mario
Yeah.
of everyone.
I did feel like that. They tried to make him the average one.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I know Candy Kong's in the game, and they make her the most sexy they've made her yet, I guess.
She's very sensuous.
Yeah.
She's very sensuous. Yes, she has fully embraced her looks. I feel like
It's like it's not weird for an ape to have giant tits. I'm gonna ride this out.
Well, remember the flower from Conker's
Yeah.
Bad Fur Day.
Yeah.
I mean,
I found out Conker's Bad Fur Day was supposed to have a sequel called Conker's Other Bad Fur Day, and it was all about the day after he becomes king when he drinks and whores the kingdom to bankruptcy.
I was hoping this was somehow going to tie into like Leisure Suit Larry. Like they were in development, but then realized that this game had already been made by Sierra.
Let's see what else about this game.
Did you try any of the other Kongs? Were you able to play as any
Nope.
of them? Yeah,
Nope.
that makes me a little sad.
We could have done like, God, this could have had a part 3, the length of this game. It's incredibly long. And we've gotten so fucking frustrated collecting everything to even get to that point. So like our sanity couldn't have taken doing more than one episode. But content-wise, we could have done a lot more. There is a point in the game where you have to play the original Donkey Kong to progress. I thought that was cool because they kind of redo that. It's still difficult, but they add like new layers and levels onto it and new aspects of the original Donkey Kong that it's solid. So a lot of people say that part of Donkey Kong is the best part of Donkey Kong 64 is playing their revamp of the original.
I may have to get to that point because I'd like to try that.
Yeah.
I wonder how Steve Wiebe feels about it.
Oh man, that's about all I have to say about this game.
Do you mind? Can we do a little Donkey Kong lore?
Okay.
I'm curious about some things. There's some weird things going on here. Wrinkly Kong, she's a ghost now. She died.
Okay.
She died after Donkey Kong Country 3, which she explicitly says when you meet her ghost and she pops out of her ghost door. There's a ghost door, and she pops out of it, and this woo is what the noise makes, and she says, "I died after Donkey Kong Country 3." Like that's her like leading line, pretty much. No one seems shook up about it. No one seems like, well, this is strange. We thought you were dead. It's just, yeah, I mean, you're a ghost now. She's a ghost, and she gives you the worst hints in the game possible. I went back to her like so many times, like, please just tell me where Area 2 is. Please just tell me how to get to Stage 2. And she's like, shoot the peanut blocks with the peanut gun. Thanks, Wrinkly. Thank you so much.
The giant block with the peanut on it?
Sure.
Use the peanut
Try
gun.
shooting the peanut gun at it. My absolute favorite.
Stretch your balls out and press them against
Adult Con, here we come. But my absolute favorite example of this is when I finally get into Stage 2, there's this like big like lobby area, right? And there's a door, a big door, and below the door are 2 gongs on either side. The door's flanked by gongs. And on each gong is a symbol, a silhouette of Diddy Kong. So I'm like, okay, 2 gongs. I mean, gongs just are begging to be rung. So I got to ring it. I guess I got to ring it with, I'm guessing, Diddy Kong. So I did it. And then I was like, oh, look, there's a Wrinkly Kong door. Go up to it. Use Diddy Kong to hit the gong. It's like, why? If you're giving me like the most obvious hints in the fucking game, like, why do you even exist? Why don't you tell me like the hard shit? Like,
jump onto your enemies.
so, okay, Wrinkly Kong, she's dead. I'm assuming Dixie Kong died. What happened? What happened to Dixie Kong?
Yeah, and Baby Kong.
I think maybe Baby Kong grew up to be Chunky Kong. Like that's my head fiction. Because they kind of look similar. And I feel like if a baby is strong enough to get through Donkey Kong Country 3, it may grow up to be a super strong.
Yeah.
A stronger than Donkey Kong Kong.
Okay.
Dixie, I think she might have died. Wasn't she Diddy Kong's girlfriend?
Her and Diddy broke up, and that's it. He sent her off.
Do you think he killed her?
But she makes a return in Tropical Freeze, though.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes it so she didn't die. That makes me feel better.
The playable characters in Tropical Freeze are Donkey, Diddy, her, and Cranky.
Cranky's playable?
Yep.
I like that.
He does a DuckTales style Scrooge McDuck cane hop.
Okay. Hey, all of this sounds great. Mm-hmm.
Tropical Freeze is a really good game.
He's a mad scientist in this game.
Is he old? Does he wear glasses? Scientist.
He's a mad scientist. He makes potions that you drink that gives you new moves. I mean, hey, on one hand I'm like, no, this is a video game. On the other hand, I'm like, you're really fucking with my Donkey Kong. Funky Kong's in the game.
Yeah.
He's gone like way off the rails from where he started. He started out as like a host of the Daily Show. And like ends up as super gun nut. Very gun nut.
Very John Turley.
Very gun nut.
He's the John Turley of the Donkey Kong universe.
I think he only has one animation in the game, and that is him holding an invisible gun and like shooting it across the stage. He used to have a surfboard and sunglasses.
Mm-hmm.
He used to be the Spuds McKenzie of the Donkey Kong.
Jump in this plane barrel, take you across wherever you want to go.
What happened in his life? Did he witness Dixie Kong like get shot or something?
Maybe they went to war together.
That's where she's been. She's been fighting the Kong Wars.
Diddy Kong has a heart condition, so he couldn't enlist in the Kong Wars. So then Dixie volunteers for him, and then she goes to war, and then Funky also goes. And Funky has he has a Lieutenant Dan style experience.
I'm on board. Yeah. That explains why Dixie came back with no legs.
Yeah. Good thing she can fly with her ponytail. So you played this game for a little bit before I even started. And so we had talked about Donkey Kong 64. Is it racist?
Yeah,
So if you just want to throw out some elements
I don't know.
of Donkey Kong 64 and the fan can judge for themselves, is it racist?
I meant to talk to you about before this. I'm not sure I want to do this thing.
I meant to tell you, let's not do that bit.
I don't think I want to do the thing. I don't feel like there's enough elements. I just feel like the few elements that there are, I feel like a guy like me is like, I don't know if I'm pretty sure this is kind of racist.
Yeah. Well, then let's just say that play this game and see if you can spot the racist elements.
I think you will find them.
If you spot the racism, give us a call and tell us.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Because, I was thinking about it today, and it was like, okay, I can list like 3 things that I think are pretty racist about this game. I feel like I need more than 3 to like throw down the gauntlet and be like, you done made a racist game, Rare.
Do you have any achievements?
Not really. Here's one I just came up with though while we were talking. I can do that.
Okay.
It's called Viet Cong.
Yeah.
And in order to unlock Viet Cong, you need to buy all the guns from Funky. Buy all them guns.
That's pretty good. I like that.
With your bananas. Buy all the guns with the bananas that you get from turning in blueprints and other things.
I've only got one as well, and it's called Nut on a Beaver. And you unlock Nut on a Beaver by killing a beaver with Diddy's peanut gun.
All right.
Or
okay.
kill not just one, like 10. Kill 10 beavers with
Whoa. That's like a Craigslist achievement.
Yeah. Nut on 10 beavers. Get an achievement.
Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
I'm going to ask you about beards, but I thought of something.
Okay. What have you all of you have How many animals would you say you've nutted on in your life?
Accidents count. Okay, here's the thing.
It's how I used to feed Josh's fish.
Here's my question for you. Did you get to the big fat animals? Did you get to the big fat animals
No.
that you got to pay there's a scale, okay? This is how you fight the first boss, an armadillo. It's a pretty fun boss fight. You get to the door and there's a pig. Here's the real reason I want to ask you if you got here, because I'm pretty sure that this really, really gross pig has nipple rings. I think that he had nipple rings, but I couldn't tell. And here's like the thing that I couldn't put my finger on it at first. Like, what is making me so like disgusted by this creature? And it's that he's completely naked. He is completely naked. And I think what disturbed me the most was that he didn't have a wiener. And like that made me like stop and think, like, what kind of person am I where it's like, man, there's something really weird about this big old fat pig with nipple rings. I know what it is. He doesn't have a wiener.
He's one of the characters from the latest Mad Max movie. Okay. All right.
But he on the opposite scale, there's a blue hippopotamus. And in order to unlock the door, here's where your bananas come in. You got to feed the hippopotamus the bananas so that he gets fatter than the pig. And then the scale tips and the door opens.
But don't the Kongs treasure the bananas more than anything else?
For a race of monkeys that decide that they're
Have already gone on
bananas.
3 like world combing adventures to recover bananas.
Yeah.
They're just gonna give like, instead of kicking these fat animals out of the way, no, we need to feed one to make it heavier than the other one.
Let's give it, I don't know, 70 of our precious bananas. Yeah, let's do that. Let's give it 70 of our precious bananas so that we can fight an armadillo and get.
There are thousands out there. Don't worry, we're gonna collect all of them.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I had to bring that up.
That's good.
He says as he yawns
Yeah.
into the microphone. No, it's great. Oh, it's good. That's great.
That's Ryan's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
it's been an episode. We talked about all kinds of weird things. But before we close it, there are a couple questions I've got for you. The first of which is, if you were to give this game a beard that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of beard would it be?
It would be a well-trimmed brown goatee.
Okay. Respectable.
Because in the 90s, you probably saw a whole fucking lot of those.
I even saw, yeah, you're right. I did. I did see a lot of those. I
Yep.
still see them, but I think it's because of where I live. Tyler, if you were to give this game a pair of glasses that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of glasses would you give it?
Those very large, like, ski sort of glasses.
Like the goggles?
They're not goggles. They're like sunglasses, but they're the color of like gasoline, and like you can see the whole
Oh, they're like oily
spectrum.
kinda? Yeah.
The large ones that you
Yeah.
used to see a whole lot of in the 90s.
Yeah.
Those.
Those? Okay. All right.
Those the Brett the Hitman Hart kind of glasses.
I got one more question for you, Tyler. This is a tough one. This is for all the bananas. How much is this game on Amazon? How much do you think this game is used on Amazon right now?
Well, this cart is yellow, which is nice.
That is nice. It's yellow like a banana.
Boy, howdy. How much is this used on Amazon? See, I didn't even know, until just a few years ago, that there was a Donkey Kong 64. I just thought, like, man, I wonder why they never came out with another one of those country games. I think I'd heard Donkey Kong Returns was coming out before I knew there was a Donkey Kong 64. That being said, like, Rare put so much time into it. I still bet there were a lot. I'll say $14.
$14. Mm-hmm. It's your final answer.
Yep.
Actual retail value of Donkey Kong 64 for the Nintendo 64 used on Amazon at the time of this recording is $14. This is a TADPOG first. I wish there was a giant fucking bell that I could ding over and over
I
again.
wish Nicole was here so I could say, fuck you, I win.
TADPOG first. $14 motherfucking dollars on the dot. I wish I had like 3 bunches of bananas I could hand you right now.
Or just a red balloon with the monkey's face on it. That'd be fine.
Good job. Instead, I could just say, good job. Well done.
Yeah.
Sleepy, huh? Still sleepy.
Yep.
Tyler Holland. Subtitle. Still sleepy.
Still sleepy. Anything else to say about Donkey Kong 64?
No.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither, man. Man, I was thinking, I was like, but man, me neither. Me got nothing given up no more.
I think it's an okay game. I will say that. I think this is an okay game. If it weren't for collecting all the things, I actually think I would enjoy this. And I do think that this is the best Rare 3D platformer that I've played so far.
That's
I'll
solid
say
praise,
that, too.
because I never hear people say that this is amazing. I hear Banjo-Kazooie is amazing.
I don't think, and a lot of it might be nostalgia. It's really difficult for me to separate it because I played a lot of Donkey Kong Country. I love Diddy Kong. I love playing as Diddy Kong. So a lot of that probably has to do with that. But then again, I mean, this game sounds great. We didn't really talk about the music. The rap is shitty, but like all the other music in the game is like Donkey Kong Country songs that have been like remixed. And I really, really like that because like the songs I would find myself at work humming and then like kind of be like, whoa, okay, I'm humming Donkey Kong 64 songs.
The leader of them. I know well.
And there's one more thing that I do want to say, and that is Paul Kluel of What's Paul Playing Today did play this game on his channel on YouTube. So if you haven't played this game and you want to like kind of get an idea of this rap, he covers the rap for sure. That's definitely in there. You can definitely see the DK rap on What's Paul Playing.
Oh, man.
So check it out.
Yeah.
I urge you.
Thanks for listening, everybody. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. So don't miss the next episode. I'm not sure what we're going to talk about. Probably an Adver game.
Man, I hope so.
Might be time for another All Calls. I know we're keeping up on that.
Yeah.
So, but we will have something for you Monday. Next Wednesday, do you know what we're doing next?
Tyler, I believe that it's Star Fox 64. Don't get your hopes up because I have not verified that,
all right.
but I believe it is Star Fox 64.
Good. I could use that. I mean, I'm still riding my Paper Mario high, so I'm not like desperate, but.
Which game did you prefer, Tyler? Donkey Kong 64 or Paper Mario?
Paper Mario.
Oh, Paper Mario, okay.
What game do you prefer over everything else you've played so far? Paper Mario. Paper Mario.
How long is Star Fox 64?
It depends on what path you take. It's still like the same Star Fox of what path you go on.
Super, okay.
Yep.
Cool. So there's a chance I can beat it in 18 minutes again. Like
Yep.
I did. Okay, cool. Well, I will wait until next Tuesday morning to start playing
18
it.
minutes before you're supposed to be here.
I just run up to the microphone, out of breath. Okay, all right. There's an asteroid thing. I don't even know. I'm also
There's
drunk,
a
apparently.
dogfight and a pigma and wolf. I don't know. It might have been a nightmare. I don't know. You know, we still love 5-star iTunes reviews.
Yeah, we do.
We love them. Help us out. Biggest marketplace. We still need that iTunes support. So please help us out. Go to iTunes. Leave us a 5-star written review. And then gives you some control over the show. Because whatever you put in there, be it a game you want us to play, a guest host you want for a certain episode, combination of the two, whatever you put in there, we promise we will get to it eventually.
Don't worry, guys. Like Tyler said, we're going to be back. Maybe doing another fucking fire trial or whatever that shit is called. I don't know. I don't think that we should do that. It took me a long time to like stop thinking about the Swamps of Dagobah. Like that was like going on in the back of my mind through like half the conversation.
Because there's one that I've like. There's one trial by fire that I probably won't read.
Is it the dumpster one? Is it the dumpster thing?
Yeah, the dumpster, the maggot dumpster.
Oh, the dumpster thing. I'm definitely reading.
Maggot dumpster is. I think that's on par, maybe a little worse than Swamps of Dagobah.
That one is definitely made up.
But the worst, yeah, that's got to be made up. The worst one is, and if you've frequented Reddit, you'll know what I mean when I say Colby.
I don't even know. I don't even know what Colby is.
Colby is like.
That was not an invitation for you to tell me.
I can't talk about it aloud because it is. I mean, Swamps of Dagobah is gross, maggot or blowfly girl. That's what
Blowfly,
it's called.
yeah.
That's gross. Colby is a trial by fire that involves animals, and it's just like it involves a dog named Colby, and it is like I can't. I'm telling you now, I'm not going to read that one. You can go look up Colby on your own, listener. And I will be impressed at you for getting through it.
Don't encourage.
So
Please don't encourage. So we'll be back. In the meantime, you can find us at tadpog.com. That's where the show notes live. You can find us on Facebook. We're at facebook.com/tadpog. I haven't replied to Ryan's comment yet, but I think he's got a great idea of what I should do. So I'm going to do it. Ryan. I'll report back. I won't tell Nikki what's going on, but
walk over and double on her lap and then use a selfie stick to stand in the background while she looks surprised.
No, she needs to look happy because the woman in the photograph on Reddit looks happy. So I need to I don't say something to make her happy. Like, I'm done recording TADPOG forever. You can find us on Twitter. We're at TADPOG_podcast. It's cucumbersome, I realize. Thank you for everybody.
I don't like blowjobs anymore.
We're there. We're on Twitter. You can find us at TADPOG_podcast. Thank you for everybody who is tweeting at us and retweeting us. It is a great way of spreading the word about the show. I do want to say something. Leonard Delaney. Does that name ring a bell, Tyler?
Nope.
The author of The Ham Bandit follows us on Twitter now. So thank you so much. So much, Yarn Sorceress Soul Sister Chandra. Because that is that made my fucking day when I open up Twitter. What? And he loved Chandra's reading, of course, because it was fucking brilliant. So I hope this gets her some kind of deal with him or something, or she does an audiobook or something like that, because that would be the best thing ever. I feel like as of right now, that would be the best thing that came out of TADPOG. So I think that's really, really cool. That's it for Twitter Corner. You can call us if you want at 270-883-2555. You can leave a voicemail there. You can send a text message to that number. If you call, please keep it under 3 minutes. If you text, just know right up front, I will totally fuck up whatever you type. Finally, if you would like to kick us a few dollars so that we can get a P.O. box, you can do that.
Yeah.
You can do that at patreon.com/tadpog. Thank you very, very much for everybody who's donated so far. That is super cool and is possibly the biggest compliment that you can give us. That really is cool that there are people who do that.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
Our theme song,
Yes, Tyler.
Moves,
Yeah.
by Sycamore Drive.
It's not the DK rap.
I wish Megalex had gotten with it.
I've done a DK rap cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been.
You still can. Please do it. We'll play on another show.
Please waste your
It'd
time.
be a great all calls theme. So, our permanent all calls theme would be Megalixer's DK rap.
Yeah.
But
Yes. Okay. For the time being, though, it is Moves by
Sycamore Drive.
A link.
Yeah, go ahead.
A link to that track, of course, can be found in the show notes at tadpog.com.
How you want to close it out? You want DK rap it?
Yeah, I mean, we gotta, right?
Yeah.
We have to.
So until next time. We'll see you again, Tyler and Danny.
I love the look on your face.
Talk about dicks, bigger and shorter and wider too. You know they know what gooters do. Tropical Capricorn.
I love this, dude. The best. I love it when I looked across the table at you and the look on your face. You had the widest eyes. You had no idea where to go with it.
If there's an all DK style rap battle improv, I'll do freestyle. Taryn had a one-night stand this weekend at a wedding and got her one-night stand in TADPOG.
Wait, what?
Got her one night stand into Tadpog. So like
Into Tad? Like, oh, the guy.
the guy.
I was so confused. I was like, wait, she what? She got him into Tadpog? Have we recorded with this person?
No, like they fucked all weekend, and then like on the way out, he's like downloaded it, loved it. I was like, all right, thanks for. Because I sent her a message like, thanks for fucking up our listener base. Well, no, that sounded right. That sounded like, thank you for fucking encouragement and boosting our listener base.